Hey, welcome back to the world according to Briggs, everyone. How is your world spinning for you? I hope it's going well. Last month I did a video about rising sea levels. One of the cities that will have some problems if and when this does happen is Miami. And it was a very interesting subject. What was even more interesting were the comments on that video. Some of the comments were about neighborhoods in Miami that it would be okay if they sank into the sea. They all seemed to have different reasons and different neighborhoods that they wanted to see go away. Sometimes it was because it was a dangerous neighborhood. Sometimes it was because it was an expensive neighborhood, and some were just run down. They thought they needed to be, wiped off the earth. Taking all those things into consideration, I did some research, including getting on Facebook and getting into a couple groups about Miami. And I asked the people, what are the worst neighborhoods in Miami? What are the most expensive neighborhoods in Miami? And that's what this video is all about. For whatever reason, what neighborhoods you don't want to live in the Magic City. And yes, that's their nickname. That's one of them. The other one's the Gateway to the Americas. So one thing to keep in mind here, because like I've been saying in a lot of my videos lately, a lot of the new restrictions and a lot of the problems that you have on YouTube, you can't use a lot of video, and so maybe not every single picture will be of that specific neighborhood, but they will be of Miami. So just give you the warning there. That being said, why don't we take a look at my top 10 worst neighborhoods in Miami. Number 10, Coral Way. Coral Way can be found west of downtown Miami and just north of Coconut Grove. This area is extremely unaffordable for the average resident that lives there. The cost of living here is about 21% higher than the state average, while the median household income is right at the state average, $48,000 a year. You really need about $70,000 to live comfortably here. Some of the more expensive considerations you have living here are transportation, 12% higher than the state average, and housing is 68% higher than the state average. What most people have a problem with is the cost of housing. They say it's a nice neighborhood, but it's not that nice. It's one of those, this isn't the best neighborhood, but we're going to charge you like it is and hope you don't notice type things. On top of that, everyone says the traffic in Coral Way just blows. It's horrible. Number 9, Flagler. Flagler can be found just south of West Flagler Street and west of Douglas Road. This is a neighborhood people might not know exists. A lot of these neighborhoods, most people don't know them for what they're really called. Most people probably call this one Coral Gables or East Coral Gables, but inside those neighborhoods is a little place called Flagler. I use the proper name the city has for the neighborhood, so if someone wants to do more research, they know where it is. After all, these videos are really for people looking to move someplace, not so much for the locals. So if you're local and you don't know it by that name, that's what it's actually called. Anyway, back to Flagler. The unemployment rate here is about 5%, which is above the national average. The median household income is only about $30,000, which is nearly $20,000 less than the state average. The income per capita in Flagler is 42% lower than the national average, so this neighborhood is a BYOI neighborhood. Bring your own income. Number 8, Little Havana. Little Havana is one of the more dangerous neighborhoods in Miami, but the crime rate doesn't reflect that. The crime rate here is only 5% higher than the national average. Now, that doesn't seem that bad. We've looked at places in other cities that it was like 125% over the national average, and actually we just did St. Louis and we saw some that were like 275% higher than the national average. That right there is crazy. But here's the thing with Little Havana. Most Hispanic and Caribbean cultures don't involve the police in their matters, and Little Havana, in case you don't know, is very Cuban. There are a lot of different reasons why they don't report their crimes, but let's just say probably more than half the crimes committed in Little Havana are never reported to the police. And a good portion of those unreported crimes are dealt with within the neighborhood, meaning they take care of their own justice. Now, here's what I know about this neighborhood. They have great food everywhere you go. It's been years since I've been there, but everything, it just smells so great, and there's just so much good food everywhere around here. But not everyone's making money in Little Havana. The income per capita in Little Havana is 47% lower than the national average. Number 7, South Coconut Grove. Unless you have a job paying more than double the income per capita of all of Miami, you'll find it hard to get by living here. South Coconut Grove's homes are extremely expensive. The average home price here for, let's say, a 1,200 square foot home is around $600,000. Even a 2-bedroom apartment that's just in an average complex, it's nothing special, will cost you about $2,000 a month, and it can get so much higher. If you could find a house for under $300,000 in South Coconut Grove, I promise you, At one point, that house was used for various forms of illegality. Some bad things were going on there. One person responded to me and said that if you live here, you're extremely rich, extremely poor, or you got your house from a dead relative. Or actually, one person said you could be a squatter. That's the only way you live there. Everyone said it's just a matter of a year or two before all the old homes are gone in South Coconut Grove. But basically, this place is too expensive to live for most people. That's why people say it's a bad neighborhood. Cost. Number 6, Little Haiti. Not to be outdone by those Cubans with their Little Havana, you have Little Haiti. And like the island of Haiti, this is another place that is also known for its incredible crime rate, just like the island. The crime rate here is 66% higher than the national average, with that equaling out to about 1 in every 22 residents being the victim of a crime every year. And again, I'm sure the crime rate is much higher than reported here. The area is no stranger to shootings, drunk driving, deaths, and hate crimes, like the racist graffiti that was spray painted on a food truck in August. Way to go, Haiti. Now, this community is facing some serious gentrification these days. And as you can imagine, the locals are a little pissed. So here's some advice for Blaine and Tiffany. Don't move here. They will steal your Beamer and probably spray paint some racist graffiti on your windshield while you wait in the drive-thru at Starbucks. The whole time, Tiffany is telling Blaine, do something, and Blaine is frozen, staring straight ahead, saying under his breath, be calm, Muffin. He'll be finished in a minute and we can get our lattes. Yeah, it's not a good scene in Little Haiti right now. Number 5, downtown Miami. The crime rate downtown is out of control. Most locals, whenever you tell them that the crime rate in a downtown area is bad, they want to argue it because they don't see it. But it is happening. The crime rate in downtown Miami is 168% higher than the national average. But what's even scary about those crime numbers is it's been decreasing year over year by 12%. The year before last, it was actually 8%. Now, the crime rate is believed to be getting better, which might have to do with the shutting down of some public housing. The city of Miami has just had to close its second public housing complex just outside of downtown because of rampant crime taking place on the property. They told everyone to leave and put up a fence around it. You know, they gave them like Section 8 vouchers to go get new housing and stuff like that. But the place was so toxic with crime, they had to do something. I was reading up on it and a lot of the residents were shocked that this was happening. How? How could you be shocked? The crime rate has been high forever in these housing projects. The city's been pouring resources into keeping the good people in those projects safe, and it's just not working out. Eventually, they're going to cut the cord, and they did. Number 4, Upper East Side, Miami. Right next to Little Haiti, you have the amazing and extremely safe Upper East Side. Totally joking. Unlike New York's Upper East Side neighborhood, Miami's sucks. This one is a twofer. High crime and high cost of living. Not only is your life in danger, but so is your bank account. One lady said she was walking her dog and a homeless man walked up, grabbed her dog, and demanded money. When she said she didn't have any money, he set her dog down, gave it a Charlie horse, and walked away. That's what she said. She said it gave her dog a Charlie horse. What does the world come to? Anyway, crime here happens so often nobody really blinks an eye anymore. Unless, of course, someone dies. There are places in Los Angeles that are like that. If there ain't a body, a cop might take a report over the phone. If there's not a body, they're not showing up. There's no way. They don't have time. Schools are the biggest concern here. Some of the schools are actually putting bulletproof backpacks on the school supply list and are putting firearm detection systems in the hallways. Number 3, Overtown. Overtown is not the area to go looking for a job. It's not a place you want to be looking for anything, except maybe if you're into a beating, that could be something you could find there. Also a vacant lot to sleep in. Always good options. The unemployment rate here is 9.2%. That is a buttload higher than the national average, and the median household income is almost $30,000 less than the state's average. So even if you do possibly happen to obtain a job here, it's likely an entry-level position, and you'll be getting paid minimum wage like a majority of the people that live in this neighborhood. This place sucks. If you feel a need to see this neighborhood, do it from a jet as you leave Miami International. If you're heading east, look out the left side of the plane, just north of the Marlins Stadium. You'll see it. It's there. Look for burning tires. You'll find it. The overall crime rate in Overtown is 351% higher than the national average. Like I said, from a plane. Number 2, Model City. Just west of Little Haiti, you have Model City, and it is anything but a model city. And have you noticed so far that everything seems to be really bad around Little Haiti? It's like Little Haiti is the hub of suck. Anyway, It's not a model city unless you're trying to make a model of a city that has a bunch of rundown apartment buildings and homes with bars on the windows, then yes, it's a model city. Most residents here live in poverty, and the unemployment rate in Model City is about 124% higher than the national average, making most of the residents feel like it's impossible to get out of the hole that they're in. The American dream doesn't exist in Model City. You gotta get out of Model City to achieve it. The overall crime rate in Model City is 121% higher than the national average. Now, what's really cool, while I was doing the research for this, I found Miami Police Department has a YouTube page, and they do a vlog about patrolling the neighborhood, which I think is a great idea. Kind of shows that they're actually working in the community and might turn things around. They've only been doing it about a year, so maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll turn one person around so they can see that, there's people trying to help them. Anyway, yeah, Model City, it sucks right now. Number 1, Wynwood. Wynwood is located right between Highway 95 and East Coast Avenue, and surprise, surprise, it is bordered to the north by Little Haiti. It is honestly like Little Haiti is the center of the Miami universe when it comes to suck. Instead of shutting down public housing that has crime problems, why don't they just shut down Little Haiti and see if it works itself out? Wynwood is known to be the worst area you could live in Miami. The housing is incredibly high for what their residents can afford. The schools are awful. Test scores here are like 30% lower than the national average according to Area Vibes. And the crime rate is 152% higher than the national average. About 1 in 15 residents will be involved in a crime this year. That's not good odds. The only reason you should go here is if you want your family to get that life insurance sooner than later. The unemployment rate in Wynwood is 47% higher than national average. The only one that is doing well in Wynwood is probably the guy that sets up the fences and puts bars on windows. Look at this. You know it's bad when people are putting their air conditioning units in cages. This dude caged his air conditioner, but not his windows. It's like, I'll fend for myself. They ain't getting at my air conditioner. It gets hot in Miami. Alright, so that is my top 10 worst neighborhoods in Miami. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you got some information out of it. I hope, more importantly, you know where not to get off the freeway at in Miami. It's a dangerous place in a lot of areas of Miami. Stay out of them. But honestly, that's just some of the people. Most of the people in these neighborhoods are good people. Like I've said before, it's almost like they're victims to the a-holes that run around their neighborhoods and cause all the troubles and make them a bad neighborhood. Those people you gotta feel sorry for. The other ones, they need to be thrown out of the city. I don't know what you do with them. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you get an alert whenever I upload a video and we can all watch it together. Anyway, everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.